Hey there, audio friends. Welcome back to the channel. MrAyrit here. I've got a headphone that I think a lot of people are probably interested in, and if you're not, you maybe should be. What I'm talking about today is the Sennheiser 660 S2. And if you've watched any of my previous Sennheiser reviews, then you'll know that I'm not a huge fan of the 600 or the 650 or the 6XX, but I did really like the previous iteration of this headphone, the 660S. I thought that was a great headphone, especially when you look at the used market prices of, you can get them around $200 at this point, definitely less than $250. And I thought that was a better balanced, just a really nice overall headphone, do-it-all headphone. I thought that was. Maybe not the most exciting headphone in the world, but very capable. So how does this new iteration stack up? And I would say that it is better. Not by huge leaps and bounds. I mean, it's not like night and day difference, but I think they took an already good headphone and I think they made it a little bit more fun, a little bit more engaging, and a little bit better just kind of all around. So let's talk about what is improved with this guy. And we'll make this a pretty quick one, right? Because it's a Sennheiser 6 Series headphone, which means we probably don't need to cover build at all, right? It's the same build as any other Sennheiser 6 Series headphone as far as I can tell. I mean, there's maybe a little different accents and grill shape and stuff like that, but I mean, it's the same basic formula here, right? It's the oval cups, it's plastic, it's got the same connectors as it always does. So it's pretty much the same and all that stuff. Now the accessories, though, we should probably take a moment to talk about. I've got it plugged into about a 5-foot cable here, finished in 1/4 inch, and then it came with a second cable that's longer, maybe about 8 feet or so, 8 or 9 feet, and this one is also 1/4 inch. Okay, so here's what's kind of interesting is I know I've seen some reviews on this guy where it comes with a 4.4 cable as well. Now this specific unit, I did not purchase. It was sent to me by Audio 46. So I would just say that make sure if you're looking for a specific cable, just double check whoever you're buying it from. I'll link down to Audio 46 below. That's an affiliate link just to kind of thank them for sending this out for review. And thank you if you decide to use that link to purchase. That helps me out a little bit. I get a couple percentage of return on that. So this particular model also came with a 1/4 inch to 3.5 adapter. And once again, maybe if you're buying from someone else, or if there might be options to pick, maybe you could get one that finishes in 2.5 or 1/4 inch to 4.4. I don't know what would be available. So just double check all that stuff. The only other thing mine came with was a little just pouch. This isn't big enough to carry the headphones, so it must just be to put your extra cable in. The box too, I'm not going to get it out, but it was much simpler than the previous 6 Series models that were almost like, a pretty fancy, like hinged, box. This one is just a regular little cardboard box, which is fine. I mean, no big deal there. Comfort's the same as any other 6 Series. Again, build's the same as any other 6 Series. All that stuff is fine and well known at this point. Sound. What I would say is if you've heard the 660S, the original one, think about what if that headphone had a little bit more bass to it, and what if its highs were a little bit sparklier, and I think that's this headphone right here. What that does for me is it creates a more engaging sound. I think the bass goes lower, it hits a little bit harder, definitely more satisfying in the bass department than the first model was. And I know that doesn't sound like a huge difference, but those couple little tweaks there, I really think make this headphone shine. And I would say it's just a wonderfully reference sound without being boring, is how I feel about it. So it is just, I almost think of this headphone as just like dead neutral, really, when I'm listening to it. Like, nothing sounds overly colored or anything like that. Vocals and timbre just sound natural, as you would expect from a Sennheiser. Definitely they take the front seat for me on this guy, but at the same time, there's satisfying bass and plenty of detail in the highs that I feel like I'm not wanting for anything when I'm listening to this headphone. Now, So another thing we need to talk about with this headphone is amplification. Now, what I found really interesting with this guy was that they have increased the resistance in the 660S2 here. So the original 660S was only 150 ohm headphone. This one is a 300 ohm headphone, but with the same sensitivity level. So they both have 104 dB sensitivity. Now, being 300 ohms, you would think this thing would shine on tube amps. Now, I don't have any OTLs on hand right now, but I do have my Quicksilver and I do have my Eddy Current ZDT Junior, and I've used it on both of those and it sounded fantastic. What shocked me though is I think I actually like it more on solid state. So I recently did a review of the FiiO K7 and I thought this paired great with that. And then I currently have a GSX Mini in for review and I think it sounds phenomenal on that. To the point where like I go back and forth from the Quicksilver and the GSX Mini and I don't really know which one I like better, which is saying a lot because I love the Quicksilver and 9 times out of 10 I like that amp better. With any headphones I try, but with this guy, solid state sounds just as good. So I don't think, well, all that to say, I don't think you have to really worry about amplification a whole lot with this guy. I think it's going to sound wonderful with anything that you put it on. Now the price is maybe my hesitation with this guy. I mean, it is priced at what, like $500-600. And at that price, I mean, it's competing with some big boys, right? It's competing with Ananda, Alex, you know, things like in that ballpark. But I think it's going to hold its weight well against those. I have the Meze 109s in, which I'll be working on a review here for shortly. And I think it goes toe-to-toe with those really, really well. They're a little bit different sound signatures. I would say that the Senns here are a bit more neutral and probably more accurate to my ear if I were to pick and differentiate, whereas the 109s are a little more V, a little more exciting, not quite as natural timbre to them. So I don't think we need to beat this one to death. It's a fantastic headphone. I can easily recommend it if you're looking for just like a reference headphone in this price range that you know is going to be durable and last a long time and will play good with any amps. I mean, this guy is it. I was really impressed with it. Really impressed. Again, I like the 660. When I released that video, I called it the king of the Senns. It's been dethroned, right? The S2 is its successor, and rightfully so. It's the king now, I think, in my mind, of the Senns 6 series. This guy's the one to get. I might even like it better than the 8XX or the 800s. I just think it's that good in that reference, but still, again, not boring or hard to listen to. Like, it's a really nice listen. Great headphone. Wonderful headphone. I imagine within a year or two, we're going to see prices on the used market. You'll be able to get one of these for $300, I bet. And at that point in time, I can tell you I'm going to pick up a set. Right now for $500, I don't know. I'm not in a rush to grab one, but I do think it's worth the money. And I think on the used market, it's going to be a tremendous value here before too terribly long. So definitely keep an eye out for it. Sennheiser really impressed me with this one. I think it's definitely an improvement and a step in the right direction, and it's a wonderful headphone. So like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. As always, I thank you for your time, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.